cool. So I'm recording this right now for this magazine.
Okay.
Now, you just got back from the European tour a couple weeks ago. That must have been awesome, man. How was it over
It
there?
was killer. Great shows. Almost every show sold out. Just unbelievable. The metal scene is a lot, as far as I can tell right now, a lot bigger and stronger than it is over here.
Yeah, it seems like Germany and places like that really embrace the metal scene, especially traditional metal.
Yeah, I mean, I just think in general over there in the last 5 years, there's been a real turnover of the audience, and it's like from the last time we were there in '98 on tour, it's a completely new audience now, and which is really cool. And I'm kind of expecting it to be the same way here when we start our dates next month. I have the feeling it's going to be very similar.
Damn right, man. Yeah, and this new album, We've Come For You All, freaking kicks ass, bro.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, definitely, man. Now, this drops in May. You must be stoked to get this one out there and stuff.
Yeah, I can't wait. You know, the response has been great. So obviously that makes us happy. We spent a lot of time and a lot of hard work making this record, and we're just really excited with it, especially after not having a studio record for 5 years. So we're just we're really glad that people are really connecting with it so strongly.
Yeah, man, damn right. And I think it's about time that Anthrax comes back to the forefront where they belong in the metal world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, look, our attitude is like, we've never gone away. It's things have really changed around us quite a bit in the last 15 years or so, especially in the you just look at how many bands there were in the 80s and what the scene was like then, and then going into the early 90s when it all pretty much changed and died out.
Right.
It really does seem like, in a way, it's coming back around, and certainly not in the same way that it was, 10 or 15 years ago. It's different. It's a whole new audience of kids, and it's a whole new world around us. But, somehow by just staying true to what we do, it just seems like everything's come around back to where we are now.
Yeah, come full circle.
Yeah.
And another cool thing is that even with all the shit a couple years ago, with actual Anthrax being sent through the mail and all that stuff, and you guys got some pressure to change your name, you guys didn't, and I think that's awesome that you stuck to your guns on that one and didn't cave in to.
Yeah, I mean, there was really no pressure for us to change our name, because the media was great with us, really sympathetic to what we were going through as well. Of course, our audience certainly didn't want to change our name, and we didn't want to. The only pressure really came from ourselves, and that was only because if people were going to continue to die from anthrax attacks, that's just something we just don't want any connection with, something as negative as that.
Right. Exactly.
Anthrax is a great name, and we've had the name for, since 1981, but at the same time, it really does mean something else that existed before we did. So if that was the case, we just wouldn't want to be called that anymore. Our name would, in a sense, be taken away from us.
Right, because
we're just glad it stopped.
Yeah, originally it was like a tongue-in-cheek name, right? And then,
well, originally we called ourselves that because it sounded like a heavy metal band, and nobody knew what it was.
Right.
People thought we made the word up, and we just didn't sound like every other band in the neighborhood at the time who had a name that ended in ER, like Killer or Ripper or Destroyer.
Right.
Back in '81 in Queens, everyone I knew who had a band was either named after a Maiden song or a Priest song.
Right.
And we just didn't want to be that.
Right on. Yeah, I never really actually knew what Anthrax meant until, years and years down the road after listening to you guys and stuff.
Right.
Now, how would you describe this new album as a whole? Like, what's the overall vibe of this album?
What's the overall vibe of the record? Hold on 1 second.
Sure.
What's the overall vibe of the record? That's a tough question. I don't know if I could Well, I don't know. I guess the overall vibe would be that there really is no overall vibe. There's a lot of different, distinctly different sounding types of material on the records, yet somehow it all remains cohesive because you could have a songs that are like as brutal as What Doesn't Die or Black Dahlia.
Right.
And on the same record, you've got a song like Cadillac Rock Box, which is straight up a hard rock song, or a song like Safe Home, which, once again, too, is just this like really driving, emotional rock song. Yet it all works together.
Right, right.
And we were able to come up with this, just all this material that is distinctly different as some of it is. It's still all Anthrax. And I think that's what we've always been trying to do on every record we've ever made. This one seems to work the best of anyone we've ever done. It's not 10 songs that all just sound exactly the same.
Right, right.
Yet still somehow with all the different material, it's all Anthrax.
Exactly, and it, like you said, it is very diverse. You do change up the tempos and whatnot, but yet it all flows song into song. It flows. It's like a very natural. Like you can listen to this album from beginning to end, and everything just flows nicely into each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's pretty much what we. If anything, once the material was done, even just putting together the sequence, that's definitely something we were trying to accomplish, to make it a record that you want, once you put it on, you want to listen to the whole thing, because it's almost like you need to hear the next song. It's not complete unless you hear the next song.
Right. Cool. It definitely works awesome like that. Definitely sequencing, like you said, is done excellent.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Now you guys also managed to get Roger Daltrey to come in on Taking the Music Back.
Right.
That must have been insane to have Daltrey there with you guys in the studio. How did that all work out? How'd that happen?
Roger's a friend of my girlfriend's. Roger's a friend of my girlfriend's mother, and we got a call one night to go out to dinner with him. So I was pretty much freaking out. I've been a Who fan since I was a little kid.
Right.
And so we went out to dinner with him, and he was just a great guy, and telling stories about the Who. And we sat at dinner for like 3 or 4 hours and just listened to Roger tell stories. And it was awesome. And at some point during the meal, it was brought up that we were working on a record at the time, and that Roger sing on it, and I was just kind of like, yeah, whatever, like that. And then he was into it. He goes, yeah, let me know. I would love to do that.
That's awesome.
And so at the time, we really didn't have any specific idea for him. It wasn't until we come up with Taking the Music Back, and at some point, that was the one where we said, yeah, kind of hear his voice on this song. And so then I called him up. He was here in L.A. He has a house here in Los Angeles as well. And I said, hey, he's got this idea for you. Are you still into it? And he's totally into it. And so he said, book a studio. Go for it. Let's do it. I know this studio down the street from my house. I worked there before. Call the guy up. Tell him we're coming in. Book 3 hours. I was like, okay, wow. You're kidding, right? And so that was it. And then a couple of days later, in the studio with Roger, producing his vocals on the track, and that was really mind blowing.
Yeah, that must have been insane, man.
To sit there and listen to Roger listening to an Anthrax song, and then like putting his vocals on it, and then hearing it back, and it was kind of hard for me to to be cool about it.
Yeah, no, right, to make it like, oh, it's no big deal. Was Daltrey already familiar with you guys' music and stuff?
I don't think he had ever heard us before. I think he had been familiar with the name of the band.
Right.
But I don't think Roger had ever heard an Anthrax record or song, or at least not that he had known.
Right. But that's awesome that you got him on the track, man. That's freaking great. And also Dimebag Darrell too, right? He stopped in.
Yeah, he's on playing lead on Cadillac Rock Box and Strap It On.
Now that must have been a trip working with him, because he's a little crazy, right?
Well, it's easy with him because we just send him the tapes down to Texas, and he just records the solos down at his studio.
Oh, he sent them back. Okay.
Sends them back. So yeah, it makes it really
The power of technology.
Yeah.
And Pro Tools and whatnot.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Yeah, because I seen like video footage of Dimebag, like, you know, waking people up with fireworks and throwing firecrackers at people's beds. Shit.
Yeah, that's pretty much a normal day.
That's cool, man. So now, Safe Home is going to be the first single. Freaking track, like I said, it's a real good, solid rock track. Tell me about what inspired that tune.
Yeah, my girlfriend inspired that tune.
Oh, awesome, man.
Charlie had come in with the music, and I immediately, as soon as I heard that track, I knew it. I started singing the words immediately. You've always been my take home. I just knew exactly where it was coming from.
Wow.
And it's the first time I've ever been able to write a song from the point of view of a positive relationship, and be able to have such strong emotions and feelings about a person that I'd be able to write them in a song and truthfully, you know, not have it come out sounding, you know, lame.
Right.
You know, so it's simple as that. And to me, it's such a powerful and emotional song, and people are really connecting the lyrics to that song, and it's just, to me, writing those lyrics are just as powerful as any of, you know, the either negative vibe or, you know, ranting lyrics about the government or whatever else I may be writing about. You know, me, these lyrics that are coming from love are even stronger than those other lyrics, because I feel more passion towards that.
Right. And do you, from a lyricist point of view, is it more difficult to write positive lyrics or negative? I mean, what mindset do you write best in? Like when you're angry or when you're in a like?
Well, this is the first time I've ever written positive lyrics.
Well, right.
But it was it's certainly something that I found was great to do and not hard to do, because it wasn't hard for me to have to dredge up the emotions. They were right there.
Right.
So I would prefer to be able to write. I would prefer to be able to write more songs from that point of view. You know, well, you know, I'll only be able to know, you know, obviously when it comes time to the next record.
Right.
But there's enough stuff in the world as well for me to be pissed or angry at. There's always a wealth of material as far as that.
Yeah, man. Like now with this whole war in Iraq, what's your position on this?
I just want it to be over.
Exactly.
You know, just be done with it. You know, basically, it didn't matter what anybody said. Obviously, Bush was going in. He took it upon himself that he was going to start his own war.
Right.
And so knowing that, my attitude is, I just want it to be over as fast as possible with the least amount of people dying.
Exactly, man.
So get the people home and get them home safe. You know, a lot of those guys over there fighting this war are probably heavy metal fans. And
right on.
Home, going to a rock show, they got to be sitting in the middle of the desert somewhere getting shot at.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Definitely not down with that.
Yeah, it's crazy. I feel bad for those guys, and most of them are young cats, you know.
Yep.
And it's you know, when you hear the news about these kids in their 20s, you know, it's just sad, man.
Yeah. So.
Now, what would be the perfect world if you could be God for a day? What would be the perfect world?
Oh. That's a good question. If I could be God for a day, I think I would make everybody forget that they ever even thought there was a God, because it causes too much trouble in the world. I would make myself disappear from everybody's mind.
There you go. That's awesome. That's freaking well said, man. And you know what? That makes a lot of sense, man. Now,
that and another Yankees, championship, I guess.
Yeah, right. Now you live in LA now?
Yeah, I've been out here for a long time.
Oh yeah. And how do you adapt from being like, born and bred New York cat to go over there, all these years? How's it feel? Like, how was the transition?
It wasn't hard at all. The weather's nice. If you grow up in New York City, I think you can adapt to live pretty much anywhere, especially because most places are a lot easier to live than they are in New York. So, it's a much different yet the same type of lifestyle out here.
All right, cool.
Nicer to look at and better weather.
Yeah, man. You believe me, you missed a really shitty winter, man.
No, I know.
So, anyway, now in May, you guys are gonna hit the road with Motorhead. That's gonna be sick, Bill.
Yeah, we can't wait. We already did a month with them last October over in Europe together, and it was beyond ours, as well as Lemmy even said. He goes, "This is better than he ever could have hoped." And so we decided let's do it for a few weeks.
That's awesome.
And here it's actually a co-headline thing, so we get to play like a full set and have equal production and all that. So we're even looking forward to it more.
Nice, man. Nice, cool. And what do you want the fans, to walk away with after seeing you guys play live?
Oh, just that they just saw the best live band that they'll ever see.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
Cool. So now, with everything you guys have been doing this for like 20-something years now, kicking ass. At this point, at this stage of the game, what's the ultimate goal for Anthrax?
It's the same thing. Just to continue making records that are challenging for us to as songwriters and creatively, and to keep being a great live band and going on tour and playing great live shows. It's what it's always been about for us. It's just being the best band that we can be, and that's all I ever wanted to do.
Cool, man. And dude, man, it was really great talking to you. You rock. The band rocks, and really, thanks, man, for taking the time.
No problem, man.
Thanks a lot, dude.
All right.
Take care.